We're finally here, guys. Team Russia versus Wind and Rain, the former Team Cheese. They kick off a meta madness. And since we're starting into our first series today, let me go over this real quickly once again. Meta madness, the big thing is that you have heroes banned not only for one game, you have heroes banned for an entire series. So everything that's banned right now is banned for the entire best of 5. These are all best of 5s, which means that with 11 heroes that get actually pre-banned, we are going to see that happen, for example, with 41 heroes on the 5th map. Imperius gets already banned. I'm also at the same time keeping track of the bans in an Excel sheet because I was actually thinking about at some point maybe getting that onto the board here somehow and trying to show that, but yeah, that already turned out to be a little bit too much to handle. It's just like too many heroes here. So if you see me glance on that screen the entire time, it's pretty much just because I'm marking down those bans. I'm going to link that sheet also on YouTube. So if you're actually interested in which heroes were banned during a series entirely, you can have a look at that sheet as well. I'm going to keep that public there. But yeah, we're starting things off with bans on Tyrael and Imperius. And we have actually Jimmy taken out as well. So no Reyna in this entire series. And keep in mind, we're actually starting every single best of 5 with 11 heroes that were decided by the community that are already not allowed to be played in the entire tournament. It's going to be pretty awesome. Especially if we're going to head into map number 4 or something. Jaina is also not going to make it in here. That's already quite a bit of fun. So that means at this point there's 15 heroes already banned. Malfurion as the first pick for Khaldor now. Keep in mind that Khaldor Martian is actually someone who plays a lot with Malfurion. It's one of his favorite heroes for sure. And usually they're trying to get the Nubarak for Stalk, which I actually expect at this point to be taken early here. On Dragonshire they can still try and be aggressive. They themselves though banned Jaina, so definitely something to consider, since a lot of that burst damage that they normally rely on comes from heroes like this. Alright, we are starting early with Rexxar. Now we have seen quite a few Rexxar picks lately, but I haven't really seen him in the first pick rotation. That's new. Currently, he's played by Stalk. I would be a little bit surprised if that is not going to be a swap later on, if Stalk really plays Rexxar in the main tank role. Because keep in mind that Rexxar can be quite strong on Dragonshire because you keep experience and also control over the temple at the same time, since you have, well, 2 entities to control. Next bans coming in. And let's see who is this time gonna be banned out for this first series. I'm hyped for this. I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna be really awesome. I'm personally a little bit wondering how exactly all of this is going to work out, because I'm totally willing for another Meta Madness in the future to make a couple of adjustments, for example. Say, pre-banning more heroes, maybe go into a best of 3, see, like, there's a couple of variations that you could really roll with, where you could, for example, also say it's not the heroes that are banned, or that are banned for the entire game, it's like every hero can only be played once. That's another alternative that you actually could roll with. But yeah, we're gonna have a look at that. For now, I'm just curious to see what's gonna happen around map 3, 4, and 5. We're already having a couple of heroes banned out that are normally just being played in nearly every single series. And keep in mind, the idea here is not necessarily to force these guys to just play murky Gazlo all the time. It's more so the idea of trying to limit the options a little bit more, push the teams out of their comfort zone, but still allow them to get compositions in that have heroes that are strong and that can be played, but that usually don't get as much airtime as others. But yeah, so far we have Alarak taken and installed, so we already have a triple front line here on the side of the team in blue. Team Russia looking strong here. Li Ming comes in, Dehaka for the top lane, therefore of course the global that they have in the setup as well. And now the last pick for our first map in the best of 5. Team Russia against Wind and Rain, the former Team Cheese that got picked up by an Orc. Like a support would be nice, I think, right? Okay, thank God. I was actually for a moment wondering if the shenanigans would already start in game number 1 and they would start with a composition without even a support here. But Khaldor Martian picks Rhaegar. A lot of Orcs on that side. And guys, that kicks off Meta Madness. Game number 1, Dragonshire, Team Russia, going up against Wind and Rain. Game number 1, Team Russia here at Meta Madness going up against Wind and Rain, and on the left side, Stalk on Rexa. He's actually playing Rexa today as the main tank here. Kolya Martian on Rega, Farlander on Alarak, we have Toxic on Thrall, and Banabir on Junkrat. On the right side of the map here, we see Wind and Rain in game number 1 with Skog on Phoenix, Max Passion on Dehaka, Berghult on Muradin, Galneguna on Malfurion, and Make on Li Ming. There's one story that I want to especially tell to everybody who's watching this on YouTube right now, but a few of the Twitch viewers might have tuned in late to it too. One of the funniest things was actually the way that they determined the maps. So the two teams were obviously talking about which maps would be banned to determine the first map to be played. And the way that happened is, ooh, Max Passion nearly dying here. Misha goes down, and the skirmish here in the middle already causing the first one to fall. But yeah, the way that they determined the maps, so Stalk basically comes in and says like, guys, are you ready? We want to ban the maps. And Marcus says like, yeah, let's go. We ban Garden of Terror. And Stalk says, okay, we ban Tomb of the Spider Queen, but I think we are supposed to ban the first map. We won the coin flip. Stalk said, well, but honestly, we don't really care. It's like fair play anyways, and it's the best of 5. Do you just want to start with Dragonshire? And Mike's like, yeah, okay, just start with Dragonshire. So that was exactly the spirit that I want to have for the tournament. There's obviously prize money on the line, thanks to Runtime, our sponsor. But at the same time, it's still supposed to be fun. The teams so far have been absolutely fantastic. We had especially Lauber's team, for example, even running scrims at some point and trying the Meta Madness rules out there to have a bit of an idea of how Fiesta they can go. And it's been a really, really awesome build-up. The teams are having a lot of fun here, the players as well, and that's exactly what we want to achieve with this. So for now, in game number 1, we have Thrall with the Echo of Elements, no shenanigans, with a 4-man rotation Thrall going into Crash Lightning. We're seeing at the same time also that Muradin is going again into Third Wind. We've already seen that yesterday from Wind and Rain, trying to just live against the poke damage here. Obviously, we're going to have to watch out for especially the level 4 and Stalk a little bit. Ooh, first kill, Malf going down. He got wrecked pretty quickly here. And Rexa with the first kill, and Rexa is actually starting to get the damage here, for sure. And they're starting to get control. Topside battle between Thrall and Dehaka is also still ongoing. Thrall starting to run out of mana a bit, but down here we're still having all these setups, with especially Misha trying to be aggressive. You see the Hunter-Gatherer taken on level 4, no Animal Husbandry, and Thrall actually goes down as Skog rotates topside together with Max Passion. They take the solo laner down, but Banabir is immediately there to soak the experience, deal with the situation, and isn't having too much trouble dealing with this. Same time now, if you look over to Thrall, he actually went into the Frost Wolf pack again. So we're already having him starting to stack for a potential level 16 Alpha Wolf. That would definitely threaten Muradin in particular. And there's not really a lot of camps taken in this game, to be honest. Normally we're seeing way more of a focus on especially the Bruiser camps on each side. That's especially true if you are running with, let's say, Rega and heroes in general that have good wave clear. Misha goes down, sacrificed herself to interrupt the channel on the dragon statue, while the rest of the team was focusing on gaining control of the top shrine. At the bottom of the map in the meantime, Farlander still fighting it out on Alarak against Make. Berghult. A nice dodge by Farlander. That would have been the end of him. If that Stormbolt connects, he's likely to fall, but that was a really nice dodge. Anticipated it, of course, moved out of it immediately. 3 stacks now on the side of Thrall. Currently we're seeing Toxic Air playing actually very, very safe here when it comes to the stacking on level 4. Again, this time the connect isn't there, and that could be the end. Farlander, and yep, he dies. Nicely done. Berghult with a stun connect on the Stormbolt. Galneguna follows it up right away with a really, really good route. And Li Ming gets the kill. And that of course means now that we are having a lot of experience already lost on the side of Team Russia. Still fighting up at the top, trying to put Dehaka into a bit of trouble and also trying to get control here. They finally get it, so no Dragonite in the mid lane. Misha again sacrificing herself. It's an interesting setup. Normally when you have Rexa being played, best completed at 4 minutes by the way. When you have Rexa in your midst, especially on a map like Dragonshire, you see Rexa top lane. He's the offlaner. He's the one trying to get not only control of the lane experience, but also of the shrine at the top. And that's not the case here. They're playing Rexa in a main tank position and having Thrall at the top lane instead. So it's a really, really weird setup, considering how they usually play this. Great kill here again from Thrall and Junkrat. They're working together really well. But it's definitely a bit of an odd thing to see. Now the one reason, or well, one of the advantages that you have if you keep Rek'Sai in the mid lane is that you have a really good tool to deny Dragon Knights even if your opponent controls both of the shrines. And that's pretty much what we've seen so far. So that was actually pretty decent. But it is a really interesting one. Well, once again, Darkhold gets actually attacked down here, nearly locked down. Of course, Junkrat currently still sitting in the middle against Phoenix. There's the quest completed on the Echo of Elements. He actually completed his Frostwolf pack before he completed Echo of Elements. And the Dragon Knight gets channeled in the middle. Phoenix not fast enough. Nicely done. The entire time it was Wind and Rain that were threatening the DK. But then we're seeing Team Russia in just one sneaky maneuver. Moving in, claiming the first objective. And now we're starting, of course, to work on the wall here. Starting to take that down. Junkrat gets the first turret, can wait for the minion wave, can just simply drop the second. Level 10 is a bit quicker, still in the hands of Wind and Rain, so they have their heroic abilities now. But that we're seeing pretty much standard here, to be honest with you. Wave of Force is going to be really important to set up more kills. Maka had a couple of fantastic moves yesterday. they're wrecking Misha again. You can say about Stork what you want, he hasn't died yet, and he has so far played a good game, even got a couple of kills. But he doesn't really pay a lot of attention to Misha here. Misha has now fallen several times, and any Panda Bear lover out there is right now probably having a bit of a headache. Also going into Bestial Wrath. Misha heal. Let's see how that works out. Also look over to Berghold. Muradin is actually sitting at 20 stacks already on the baseline. Obviously his job is made a bit easier by Misha just being far out there, and he can get free Stormbolts against the bear every single time he wants. But with Misha dying over and over again, I gotta admit that the situation here is pretty unbearable. It's like pretty rough to see Misha molested all the time. Yeah, oh, Muradin actually jumps in deep. Still fine here. Nice Ancestral onto Farlander as Alarak is trying to get the value. The Riptire comes through and Alarak goes down. Quest completed for Muradin as they're trying to make another play. Misha with a fantastic stun here immediately. Rek'Sai is down, and that's the double kill against them. Job well done. Great comeback here from Wind and Rain. 5 kills against 2 now. And they're immediately focusing on the mercenary camps on the left side of the map, trying to steal them away here. Great move by them. It was actually at the beginning, Alarak keeping himself quite safe, then getting the Ancestral too, but they still got the kill. And once that we also had the Pierce quest completed for Muradin, he of course just hammered those Stormbolts out in that choke point, and that allowed them to get kill after kill here. And even Misha just trying to guard at the front and maybe block a couple of Stormbolts couldn't do anything more anymore because of that. So down to the bottom of the map, Skog once again trying to get the shield mechanic to work, also getting healed from Malfurion as they're grabbing another camp. They're really building momentum now. They got the Siege Giants at the bottom camp. Good job here by Banalbeer, pushing them in so that the fort can help out with the defense. Still a push up at the top, and oh, yeah, Max Passion is getting maximum wrecked right now. That gank, he didn't see that coming, he thought he was safe, and well, the end of the story is he wasn't. There's 4 heroes moving in and Rek'Sai, and that's the end of him. Muradin, he's gonna be fine down here. But I like it, kills on both sides already in this first game. With that, of course, we're having once again up to the top lane. A heavy push as the side wall was actually opened up. They're trying to make the play for Phoenix here even. Skog is already realizing that he needs to get the hell out of there. Once that fort soaks or it starts attacking minions, everybody is going to just dive on him. So he moved back to the bridge, and he definitely had to. Nice ult though. Here comes the ult, but he's a bit far out. And oh my god, just warps away in the last moment. The Haka is low, gets the drag connected though. Can they get the kill? Nah, the Haka is dead. But Rhaegar is low, drops the healing totem. Muradin! Oh, and right with the axe straight to the face here. It's hammer time. And he hammers Rhaegar into the ground. Swedish player beats Puppy. The headline tomorrow on Aftonbladet. Already down here, another kill attempt against Maka, but he is able to teleport away. We're still seeing Berghold in trouble. They're trying to get revenge for the kill against Rhaegar. Oh, and he gets away. Woo! Misha charges into death. That's pretty much what we just saw there. Jumping in, and that didn't really work out. 6 kills against 5. It's a close first game here. It's definitely a very, very close first one between the two. With the level 13 talents, of course, the Earth Shield is ready for Rhaegar. That helps him a little bit more as well. We have up to the top right, another camp about to be taken. Again, keep in mind that these Dragon Knights, of course, as they scale, are going to become more and more powerful. But they try to make the play against the top fort now with that particular camp. Oh, nicely done. Good sundering. And Khaldor is down. Russian speed up old guy with green hair. And Stork. Stork survives and Dehaka gets wrecked. As we see Junkrat moving in and just murder him. Misha dies again. Misha is just feeding at this point. Misha isn't being fed. Misha is feeding right now. I can't bear these absolute amazing moves against Misha. I don't know what's more unbearable. The bear dying all the time, or these horrible, horrible, not to say grisly puns that we're having here. Well, Dragon Knight again taken by Rexxar as he's starting to move straight down to the middle. They're going to still thrall at the top lane. 16 would of course be fantastic for that push, and that's exactly what we're seeing from them right now. Get the 16 talent as early as you can. Make sure that you push through the middle and drop the first 2 structures. And that's exactly what they're doing right now. Trying to... Oh, hello. Trying for the minion wave, I guess. Take a couple of structures, boys. You are far ahead at this point. You need to get a little bit of passive experience. That's the second Dragon Knight that they have, and they aren't really ahead in anything. They're slightly ahead in experience, which is definitely true, but if you look at the map and you look for an infrastructure advantage, it's just not there yet. And the Dragon Knight is actually gonna fall, with the fort in the mid lane still standing and the one at the bottom not taken out either. Not really too much value here. Would have loved if they would have taken at least the mid fort. Ooh, Phoenix needs to be very careful. The flank, Toxic, with a nice thundering, but this time the wolf doesn't connect. Whoa, the Earth Shield keeps him alive long enough for the Ancestral to come through. Berkult is low but gets away. Toxic barely outside of reach. Dehaka was already looking for the drag but couldn't get it. Is still looking for a connect here. And gets it against Misha. Okay, this is starting to get a little bit silly. Stork, we have to talk here. I really like you, but that is animal abuse right there. I'm gonna call Peter now, because that's a little bit too much. Misha dying once or twice, I can live with that. Misha dying basically every single fight, that's taking things just way too far. I'm sorry, my friend, but this is not okay anymore. Report incoming, that's all that I'm saying. Well, top lane now. Let's actually look a bit at damage here first of all. Thrall on 46,000. He's actually getting solid damage out. Damn. I didn't expect him to be top damage. I thought he would have decent, but that's actually like really well done. The Ancestral Wrath, of course, kicking in against Muradin. And on top of that too, he has now a level 16 talent that he can capitalize on with the level 4 quest completed. But still, that is pretty respectable. Rexxar too is sitting at 43k. That isn't too bad either. 57,000 on Li Ming, top damage in the game. 0 deaths so far on Maka. He literally just carried games in Division S for his team already, where he just got the reset kills later on and got one after another. So this is something that we have to definitely watch out for here, and Team Russia needs to be careful. If Maka has the chance to get those resets, he can obliterate your backline. There's the Alpha Wolf, by the way, as expected. Misha again in trouble, but this time Maka has a huge problem and gets wrecked. The better safe than sorry sundering. Even the great salvo that we're seeing from Skog is not going to change the outcome of this fight. That was too much. Main damage is already gone. Riptire comes in and Thrall obliterates Muradin. Yeah, Khaldor actually dodges that mine for a moment, but the problem is that moves him right into the path of Alarak, and Malf goes down. Fallen having a bit of an issue here, but currently his team is looking absolutely fantastic. 10 kills against 7. Dehaka in this case hasn't joined the fight. They take down the bottom fort. There's still one in the middle that they can get whenever they want, but with 3 heroes down at this point, there's definitely a chance for them to just simply move through the bot lane and maybe maybe even go for the keep itself. They have everything in their hands right now. They still have the Ancestral, so if there's a turnaround attempt, they can definitely try and just simply use Rhaegar to heal the target up. They have also Misha on the ground. They have a minion wave pushing in. They have Camp actually still on the move. So if they are able to break through the wall here, they can start to let those soak up the shots from the keep and then simply take the first one. Breaking through the wall should be easy. Keep is a nice bonus if they get it. 20 seconds out until we're having Li Ming back in the game. And they should be able to make that play. The Haka is soaking. He's soaking the entire time. They still need the experience. Team Russia is currently at level 19 against 17. Well, maybe 18. It's a level lead. Don't think they can go core here. They're actually moving for it though. They're actually moving for core. Li Ming is back. 10 seconds for Muradin. Oh! Now they can go core. Oh! Phoenix gets absolutely murdered. Alarak with a setup and the kill, and here comes the Haka. Team Russia in good old fashion. Why did I even doubt that they would go for core? It's Team Russia after all. What am I thinking here? Of course they're gonna go core. It's the Russians. They always go core. Orcs always go face. Russians always go core. Have you learned nothing, Khaldor? Wind and Rain goes down in game number 1 as Team Russia takes the lead in the best of 5 series here in Meta Madness. Game number 2, everybody! Meta Madness continues with Team Russia against Wind and Rain. Infernal Shrines is our second map. And yep, the bans keep coming in. Right now we're heading into this with 16 heroes already banned out completely. And actually I'm lying to you, it's 17 heroes that are banned out completely before this one starts. So what are we going to see banned this time? At some point it's going to get difficult for the teams. Again, I have that Excel sheet that I provide there so that they can see what is still available. But they really have to start thinking, okay, how is this working? What are we doing with this? And Alarak, okay. Alarak gets actually banned out. Okay. After the last game, they don't want to deal with that anymore. I can't wait to see what they're actually playing. Again, I expect the shenanigans to really start in game 3, game 4, if it comes to that. So that's what I expect here. But yeah, with Infernal Shrines, and I mean on the first map, it actually looked for a long time good for Wind and Rain. Just towards the late game. It's too slow. Medivh banned out. Okay. No Medivh for Maka. And the insta ban against Anna. Okay, that was a quick one. Let's see what exactly they're going to rid of here. I mean, you could still try and target Bergholt's hero pool a little bit. You already know that he loves to play around Tyrael and Johanna. And Tyrael is banned out. Yes, Tyrael is already banned out. So you could still look at Johanna, for example, and ban Johanna out if you wanted to. I think that Stork probably feels pretty comfortable on the other tanks here. Limits the tank pool a little bit, but still possible. But they go for Greymane. There were a couple of Greymanes that were played just recently by Wind and Rain. So okay, Greymane gets banned out. That brings us straight to 21 bans at this point in the series already. And 2 more, of course, incoming. So let's see what they're actually going to pick for their first pick here. You still have a couple of real big power picks in. I mean, Tyrande has been globally banned before the tournament started, so she's not available. I was actually talking in the last game even about a Nubarak maybe being an option, but he's obviously one of the global bans too. Li Ming, then again, hasn't been banned yet, so you can still play around Li Ming, and we've seen how much Maka tries to rely on that hero. And especially talking Maka. Maka cannot play Genji because Genji was globally banned before the tournament starts. He can't play Tracer for the same reason. We already saw his Mephisto being banned out. So Maka is actually getting really targeted here, especially since we're now also having Greymane eliminated. And again, Malfurion and Rexxar. This is getting to a point where I'm honestly asking myself, are they gonna ban Rexxar at some point? That's where we are right now, that we're actually thinking about banning Rexxar for the best of 5. I mean, tanks are still okay. With a couple of globally banned tanks, Diablo and Garrosh, for example, were banned before the entire series started. But there's the Johanna that I've been talking about. Again, I could have totally seen a ban against Johanna from Team Russia, just simply because Berghold is known to play Johanna, especially when he can't get access to Garrosh or when he can't get Tyrael. But now we have a few additional bans coming in, of course. And well, what are they gonna get rid of? Could target supports you. And you already have Malfurion for your own team. Could target supports on the other side. Ana is banned. Turan is already banned out. So a lot of support still available. But they're actually getting rid of Sonya here. Alright. Sonya gets banned out. She is great on Infernal Shrines, or she was. I mean, other heroes have taken the spotlight, but she for the longest time was just the go-to hero for Infernal Shrines because of that massive sustain that she can get through the spin to win. Gul'dan gets banned out for the series as well. Yeah, we're starting to really limit that hero pool quite a bit. Okay. I could see Make play Kel'Thuzad later. I'm not even memeing. Make played in a couple of matches that didn't matter too much. He actually played Kel'Thuzad, so it's definitely a hero that is in the back of his head that he can play, and I wouldn't put it past him to at some point jump on that. So we have Muradin taken, we have Banabia on Thrall. On the other side, let's see what we're gonna get here. That's 2 picks for them. Junkrat, Johanna, Li Ming. I mean, they still need a bit of damage. A lot of auto attackers are banned now too. We don't have Reyna available for this series anymore. Reyna was banned in the first game. There's Leo and there's Rhaegar. Okay. Leoric and Rhaegar are coming in. Leo is still a good side laner for them, obviously. So that definitely works out. Rhaegar coming in for the heals after we've already seen him in the last game. And now we're gonna see... I don't think we're gonna see something crazy in the second game just yet. On that last pick. Thrall, Rexa, Muradin, you still need range damage. There's the Kel'Thuzad! Nice! There it is! Not by Make. We actually see it from Team Russia. Kel'Thuzad being played. Alright, awesome. So they're going straight into a Kel'Thuzad. So in game number 2, we already have a bit of variation. I mean, normally I would call out Rexa too, but let's face it, they're always playing Rexa. Game number 2, everybody, Infernal Shrines with Kel'Thuzad on the side of Team Russia. Game number 2, as we head into the second map of Meta Madness, match between Russia and Wind and Rain. On the left side, Stalk on Muradin, giving Rexa over to Toxic for game number 2, with Kolya Martian again on Malfurion, Banabia on Thrall, and Farlander on Kel'Thuzad. So we're getting a little bit of action in here. On the right side, then again, Make with Li Ming for Wind and Rain, currently down in the series. We have Berghold on Johanna, Skork on Junkrat, Max Passion on Leoric, and Galne Gulnar on Rhaegar. Time to shine. Game number 2 already showing us a Kel'Thuzad game. And definitely also starting to really work on those hero pools a little bit. Make in particular needs to be a bit careful with what he can play later. A lot of the heroes that he traditionally tries to get for his team are currently not available any longer. And we are only heading into game number 2, so it's starting to become a bit dicey here. 23 heroes are by now banned. So once we're heading into the third game, that number will be increased to 29. Well, level 1 at this point, we're having the Plague Lands taken for Kel'Thuzad. And Kel'Thuzad, I mean, one of the problems that Kel'Thuzad always had is that he's incredibly weak in terms of hit points. So he can easily be sniped by an opponent. Now, this is one of the big things of Meta Madness that you have to think about. A lot of the heroes that weren't played in the past weren't played because they were very vulnerable. For example, there's a ton of mages out there that just couldn't deal with heroes like Genji, with Tracer, and others, aka Overwatch heroes. So with those being in the game, you just couldn't play them without being heavily punished on the professional level. You could maybe YOLO them in quick match or if you're playing in Wood League, but outside of that, if you're playing in a competitive environment where action and kills are just more coordinated, then it's really, really tricky to play around this. So with that said, now that those heroes are mainly banned out, all of a sudden you can play a lot of these. If you play Kel'Thuzad in any setup where heroes like Tracer and Genji and others aren't banned out, Kel'Thuzad is just going to get murdered all game long. But here, all of a sudden, you have a setup where it's like, you know what? I think I can stay safe here. What do they have? I need to be careful of Junkrat in particular. I need to be careful of that Entomb that Leoric is going to have later on. But they have definitely quite a few tools now where they can try and keep Khaldor safe with a triple front line, for example. Like a quad front line if you count in Misha, which you always should. But yeah, level 4 tunnel, by the way, for Marke. Once again, not going for dominance, but instead for the charge blast. If he gets a good volley and a calamity off against Khaldor, that's pretty much an insta-kill. That's the first stack for the Frostwolf pack on Barnabier with Thrall. Animal Husbandry taken again for Misha. We didn't see it last game when Stork played the hero, but now that we're having Toxic back on it, we're actually seeing that talent taken right away. They're obviously already starting to go straight for the camps here to try and build up a bit of momentum on those lanes. Stacking for Thrall actually going really well, especially also on the Egg of Elements. We're nearly 3 minutes in. He's about to get another 3 stacks here. Make it 2. But he's sitting at 13 right now, so it's still pretty decent considering. Bergkult is so far still happy. Yes, we have global bans on Garrosh and Diablo, but we're still seeing Bergkult on his Johanna, so as long as he gets heroes that he is really familiar with, that are right down his alleyway, he's going to be totally happy with that. Top lane, on the other hand, oh, Stork missing the Stormbolt here against Marke and Max Passion. That could have been a kill. Doesn't quite work out that way, but both of them are already incredibly low and have to tap early. So they don't get the kill, but it was definitely a close call there. That could have worked out. Stork himself needs to be careful though. Shows that minion who's boss. The minion mouthed off a little bit against Muradin. He just turns around, throws the hammer straight in its face. Like, what did you say? What did you say? There's a hammer for your troubles. Ah, well. Still having a big fight also at the bottom of the map, as we're only seeing 4 heroes committing up here top. Misha is still rotating. So far taking the safe path the entire time. There's a couple of ganks that Wind and Rain are currently trying to set up here. Oh, nice. Get the chains together. 10 stacks currently on the baseline for Khaldor here. They still have them with 18 stacks, as Thrall has been murdering this the entire time. But down at the bottom of the map, it's still a 3-man push and has been for a long time. Toxic is doing a fantastic job keeping everybody at bay with Misha only. Leo at the top lane is down as Max Passion gets murdered. And I'm not sure if this split is really working out for Wind and Rain here. It's starting to get a bit dicey. They aren't really able to break down the bottom fort. They broke through the wall. That's something. But Misha is holding that fort for as long as possible. And meantime, the top side looks better and better for Team Russia as they're starting to get the Punisher. Now in experience, there is a lead for Wind and Rain. That's undeniable here. But I think that's a gap that they should be able to bridge here. They're currently starting to jump in again. Punisher obviously baited over the wall. You attack the Punisher, gets vision of you, jumps over. It's like an ability with the cooldown that is used. Always make sure that you stay behind the wall when it happens. And with that said, they're making the play for the first fort, but they won't be able to finish this one off either. 12 stacks by now in Khaldor. Once he has the baseline completed, that's of course an incredible boost in damage for him. 75% additional spell power. That would be the absolute dream here. But even getting the spike in another 2 would be great for him. That's the 4 completed. Talking Thrall, by the way. Thrall is currently, and we're 5.5 minutes in, he's still not done with the Egg of Elements. Earlier it looked like he was absolutely en route to get that early, but yeah, far from it at this point. It's Fabian, and he missed the wolf. Oh, Barnabier. Oh, he was at 5 stacks and he just lost all of them for his Frost Wolf pack on level 4. Ooh, that hurts. That absolutely hurts. Yeah, that's very, very frustrating for him right now. That's definitely a feels bad man moment right there. Just so far in, and then it's just like, yeah, you just miss. And as an invade with level 10, Wind and Rain is really starting to gain the momentum and start to dictate the pace of the game here. They get the earlier level 10, it's a small window, and they use it to grab a camp. Again, here comes the Rip Tire, 10 vs 10 fight. Sundering, interrupting the Tire actually. Cancelling that out, but Kolya Martian is in trouble. Tranquility! And he goes down regardless. The mace to the face. But the counter kill as Khaldor together with Rexa drops Johanna. Kill for kill here. As the two teams are retreating again, but the camp was taken by Wind and Rain. So they actually get the camp here. They're able to claim it. Which at the end of the day makes that a worthy trade for them. Also keep in mind that we're seeing Khaldor just getting stacks. 7 minutes in and Thrall still hasn't completed Echo of Elements. He needs one more minion and then we're gonna go for him. But yeah, that's definitely a rough start for him. 18 stacks now for Farlander though. That's gonna be an important one. Currently having not really too much damage on his part. He's sitting at 7,500. Compare that for a second to Leo, who's currently sitting at 19,000. Drain, drain, drain. There we go. Echo of Elements completed. That definitely gives him a little bit more power in these fights now. Well, up to the top side. Still seeing Banabir doing his thing. Wave clear, of course, going to be much better for him now. And still that insane Junkrat poke the entire time. And Marker also going in. That didn't quite work out for Misha. Doesn't die, but couldn't get the stun in. The Martian is still there. Galnagulna is running around in the back with Rhaegar. So even if Marker gets locked down at some point, should be able to keep Liming alive. Even though he doesn't have Ancestral. It's another important point to consider. Another stacks. 2 stacks again on the Frost Wolf pack. Once you're heading into the next Shrine fight, Thrall should be able to complete that quite easily. But yeah, with camps taken and the next Shrine activated, it's time for a team fight, boys, and level 13 is close for Wind and Rain. I want to see that KTC factor. Khaldor, let's see if he can actually deliver the damage here once again. He has the AoE now for sure, but he doesn't have all that extra damage yet. But if he can get a couple of stacks here, like this for example, Marker. 1 second longer on the stun, and that would have been a problem. 4 stacks by now, and Banabir's level 4, so he's starting to get there. But we have 27 against 6 stacks, and you just can't do anything without the level 13 talent. They just can't. At this point, I mean, how do you engage into this? And the answer is they don't. They might try and get a kill here somehow, set something up, but outside of that, they will just have to accept the fact that they are not going to get that Punisher and have to go for the defense here. And there's no wall left either, which means you can't bait it over and still attack it safely from the back. Kind of have to try. Bait this thing a little bit farther. Okay, this comes a little bit of damage. But you can tell that Farlander is starting to have a bit of trouble to really continue the stacking process. Junkrat is coming in too, and that's them just easily taking out that mid-fort here. That didn't do anything. 5 stacks on the side of Thrall now. Needs to be careful again. There comes the spike. Nice hit. That is actually really well done. Good action from Farlander, playing around the lack of vision that Marker had there. Gets another 2 stacks for the baseline, 10 away from completing the second quest reward. And they're moving in again. It's a little bit more action in. And Thrall again missed the wolf. Oh, Banabir. He was at 5 stacks again and misses it again. The kill. There it is. Khaldor is just a bit too weak. He has 21 stacks right now, but welcome to the problem. It's the hit point pool. Nice. What an ancestral. Rhaegar with a murderous one right there, and Marcus survives thanks to Rhaegar. This is the moment when you realize that you owe your support a keg of beer. Backhult starting to move back. 15 against 13 now on the board. 14 any moment for Team Russia. They have the same talents. But, oh boy. This is actually starting to get a bit dicey. Khaldor, of course, now coming back to you. With that, we're having Kolya Martian and Stalk already starting to move in. Either way, here, this is another really important one. The question is always, when do you use that? Well, talking about using stuff. Trade value activated as Max Passion goes down. But with all the resources committed to the top lane for that Leori kill, the bot lane is absolutely abandoned. And that is something that Wind and Rain capitalizes on right away without any ado whatsoever. They're just jumping in, saying like, hey, another free 4. That's amazing. Let's go. That's 2 structures now taken down, which means that passive experience is going to increase for them. Passive experience is really going to do well for these guys as it continues. They have level 60 now too. Now as it stands, Team Russia should be able to get an even fight over the next objective anyways. But that is going to be one of the most important battles, because if they lose out on the next Punisher, then level 20 will drop into the hands of Wind and Rain pretty quickly after that, and that gap is going to widen way too much. 16 is also going to be an interesting talent, because without the quest completed on level 4 for Thrall, the question still remains, is he actually going to go into Alpha Wolf? Or are we instead going to see him surrender and say, okay, I'm going to go Thunderstorm here? That's one of the big ones. Well, they're trying to get a kill up here topside. Needs still to be careful because they don't have 16 yet. They're always aiming for Make and Skog, like always a damage dealer. Skog is every time trying to get that Stormbolt connected, and also to help, of course, Bannerbeer with the setup. Blessed Shield comes in, they're trying to make the play. That doesn't quite work out. Here comes the Riptire, gets some damage in, but that's not enough. And that's a lot of cooldowns burned. 60 now on both sides. Alpha Wolf taken, Thrall gets it, Stone Form for Muradin, trying to stay a bit safer here too. Feign death. And actually talking about that, Rexxar hasn't died yet. Rexxar has not died in this game, and he has Animal Husbandry. We talked about this earlier. So he's actually a pretty decent hit point in pool. 4,600 at this point, as we're looking at 12 minutes into the game. Still Khaldor, not really a lot of damage. And look at it. 11,000. Once you complete your baseline quest, then yes, that's a different story because you have a massive spike in spell power. But so far, we're just not seeing that. He's getting a little bit more at this point. He's sitting at 23. They have to win this one, and they're already behind. Ooh, they're already behind in the points. They need a kill, and they need it quickly. Here comes the Avatar. They're trying to make their play. They're trying to move in. Where's the Sundering? So far, we don't have it. Oh, that was actually not really well coordinated. Wave of Force comes in just as Max Passion drops the Entomb and pushes everybody out of the Entomb Rage. That didn't work out. Oh, that could be it! Oh, the Ancestral again! Rhaegar is just playing so well here. Those Ancestrals are every time on point. They keep him alive. Here comes the Riptire again. Muradin with the quest completion. Riptire not quite with the value that they were hoping for, but Stalk is still in trouble and will fall. Stalk goes down, and they don't have anything else left here. They're tabbing at the fountain, but Max Passion, and now just ghosting around again. And this is just looking worse and worse for Team Russia. They are in trouble. And it's great coordination, that's the reason for that. I mean, especially when you're looking over towards Rhaegar, those Ancestrals that we're seeing here, it's like, oh boy, is he on point with those. You can literally see the shield coming through on Earth Shield the entire time just to keep the target alive for a bit longer, and he does fantastic around that. Now they're trying to get some value bot side with that little push here, and that's at least something where they can break through the wall. But this is going to be not only a tough push to stop at the top lane, it's gonna net more experience for Wind and Rain. And that's a big problem because they are looking at level 20 next, of course. And they are right now fantastic. Still, Khaldor has his baseline completed, so that's a huge spike in power for him. The question simply, is that too late? Did that come in time, or is that too late here already? Now, Farlander is looking to see if he can get the damage through. There's the quest completion for Thrall finally, so he can capitalize on that too. They're trying to get the kill back. Hult is alive, and so is Leoric. Oh, they have the Sundering coming through, but they just can't get that final hit in. Talking about the final hit, that keep is really low. Misha goes down, fighting for a good cause here. Stork misses the Stormbolt, anticipates the movement into the wrong direction. They're trying to go for Max Passion. Here comes, oh my god, Muradin is dead again. They just blew him up. They absolutely blew him up. And he has the attack against Farlander. He's trying to escape. He might even get the kill here, but no. Oh, he misclicked. Oh, Leo goes down, and he hit the wrong target with the Ancestral. I think it was Make who actually went in and overlaid the model, which is why he couldn't connect with it properly. Ah, but they get the counter kill. They stop the attack for now. They lost the keep still. Keep is down and every single fort is eliminated too. Just take a closer look at the experience here, and also take a very close look at the passive experience discrepancy that we have between the two teams. And that is, of course, since Blizzard changed the way that experience is calculated through forts, the passive experience increase is just absolutely insane once you have this many structures taken down and your opponent hasn't eliminated a single one. And that's what we're currently seeing here. And with level 20 in their hands, I mean, you're talking buried alive at this point. That alone is a game changer. We have 5 kills against 4. If you look at the kill count, it's really not a big difference. It's just the objective control that Wind and Rain had throughout the game that makes for such a huge gap. Yep, and that's a deck out up. Right there. One Blessed Shield. Oh, that wasn't even. Gets the Blessed Shield in. And Muradin is gonna die too. There's no jump. Here's Avatar. Stone Form. Ooh, is he gonna get away? Yes! Stork's cooldown is back in time as he jumps out. Close call though. Oh, but yeah, he had to pop everything here. Avatar, Stone Form, like he had it all. He was just like, guys, I need to get out of here. And he barely hopped away. Hop, little dwarf. Hop, hop. Oh, well, but now there's a pressure play against the bottom keep. That's a tough one, especially with Khaldor missing. They're trying to burn that down as quickly as they can, though. Level 10, level 20 is still a bit away. 72,000 damage on the side of Li Ming by now. And Khaldor is actually about 32k. That's not a lot if you compare to the other heroes. If you remember the last time that we checked his stats, though, he was at 11,000. He nearly tripled that in the meantime. And that comes mainly through this baseline that got completed. Khaldor is back, but can they save the bottom keep? That's a big question. It's the first question. It looks like yes, they can. Looks like they can. Another attempt to get the damage through with Khaldor, but they're closing on level 20. And it just comes in time for the shrine. Someone needs to take care of the mid lane, though. What? How the hell did that happen? Why would you fight before 20? What are you doing? Ancestral keeps Maka alive, and, well, they drop the Riptire. They get the kill against Khaldor, though, and even with Leoric falling, that's a problem. Why would they go in for the fight? I literally don't understand what happened. How is that possible? You're quarter level away from level 20. Why wouldn't you just sit back and wait? You can fight for the objective here. It's all good in the hood. You're getting another fight on even talents. I am very, very confused what exactly happened there. That should never have happened, that kill. And now, of course, they're in a world of pain. I mean, not only is there catapults on the core already, the Vinions are already delivering, but this is another big, big focus point. Max Passion is about to respawn. Has the Entomb ready, gets it, and down goes Thrall. Even if they kill Max Passion again, doesn't even matter. Like, I don't think so. Farlander is down. The core is down to 52%. Mirrodin, as he respawns, deals with the catapults, but still, this is an absolute nightmare at this point. It's a total disaster here. I really thought that Russia had maybe a chance to come back into this, but far from it. We're seeing them completely murdered by wind and rain here now. Again, the attempt to at least keep them alive with tranquility for as long as they can, but with two heroes down, you're fighting a 5 versus 4. Always accounting for Misha here. But yeah, it's rough. And they go for Stalk again, and I don't think he has a chance there. No, he's way too deep. He gets a bit of healing static value. Oh, Maka actually pushed him away. Yeah, but Skag is already on the point. And that's the end. Tries to get another quick shot in against Junkrat, but Li Ming says nope. And Calamity's straight onto his face, sits on Muradin's face, and drops him dead. Now with that, we have now 11 kills against 5, and what looked like a potential comeback for Team Russia is very quickly turning out to, well, not be that. Core is being attacked, and it looks like we're going to see a tie in the series. Team Russia is losing their core quickly. They're getting a lot of damage here on the other hand, but it's too late already. Yeah, that's it. The series is tied as Wind and Rain claim victory on Infernal Shrines. GG, well played. Okay, game number 3, Towers of Doom, and the series is tied, which means that we get at least 2 more maps. And already we have a crazy amount of heroes banned out here as we're heading into this. I mean, again, yeah, there's the Li Ming ban immediately. So Li Ming gets banned out right away. I'm gonna note that down here too. Maka had to actually go, so unfortunately he had to leave. There's rumors that he left because he knew that Li Ming was about to get banned out. No, but all jokes aside, apparently there is something happening with his grandma 80th birthday or something like that, and I guess that's a good excuse. He's going to be back later, and hopefully for him they're still going to be in the tournament so that he can play then. But they have a sub that they already had prepared, and so Wit is now going to play the rest of the series for Maka. And there's a lot of pressure for him. I mean, the series is tight, so the two teams are basically playing a best of 3 at this point. And a couple more bans here coming in, with now Dehaka and Leoric also banned out. That side lane is getting a little bit more isolated. Now, of course, there's still a lot of options there. You can still go Blaze, you can still go Urel, Thrall can be played on the side lane. But we are having more and more heroes banned out right now. And a couple of those are fantastic on Towers of Doom. I mean, that Leo, when he rotates between the lanes, pretty strong here. That Dehaka as well. We're even seeing Malfuri now banned out, which to me signals that we are going to have a bit of a battle over Rhaegar, because so far their fallback options seem to be Rhaegar for a lot of these games. but Kolya Martian's Malfurion is definitely taken out now. Last game we had Khaldor. This game, let's see what the adjustments are. Johanna gets picked by Stork. I like that already. As I said before, I could have seen a Johanna. Just simply because Backhold's hero pool, or the pool of heroes that he normally prefers, is usually 3-4 heroes. And Johanna is pretty much the last one remaining out of that. Doesn't mean he can't play any other frontliners, but it definitely means that he's going to be less comfortable on them. So Stork is adjusting for it by simply picking Johanna now. Melganis is getting taken here by Team Wind and Rain. And we're having Junkrat immediately locked down. Junkrat is one of those great heroes that is still in the game, where they are saying, okay, we need to lock that guy down as quickly as we can, because most of the other top-notch heroes are currently banned, and we need to make sure that we're getting those power picks early on, before our opponent picks it away. So the dynamic is definitely changing a little bit in the setup here. Yeah, that's a global. Rega, as I told you, Rega is getting picked early as a support now that Malf is banned out too. And we have the global on the side of Team Russia with Falstad. The bird's the word, as we have another ban coming in. Let's see what we're going to have banned out this time. Could ban offlane still. We have already 2 offlaners banned. They ban Rexa. I like it. I actually like it. After all the Rexa focus that we've seen from Team Russia, they're just simply saying, dude, we're kind of done with this. We don't want to deal with Misha anymore. We don't want to deal with Rexa. You played it 2 times in a row. And as the offlaner hero pool is more and more limited, you're definitely going to continue that trend. Thrall gets banned out too. Guys, I'm telling you, that offlane is slowly and steadily starting to get very, very isolated here. There's still heroes around. Mentioned it earlier. You can still play that Urel, for example. Can still play Blaze, but there is less and less available. Another 6 heroes globally banned for the entire series here. And let's see, game 4 and 5, if it comes to that, are going to be bananas. Alright, there's the Samuro pick, and we have Deckard Cain by Galneguna. There we go. Samuro is actually going to be annoying without globals, like really annoying. There's Phoenix and Illidan. Nice. You get Illidan on the last pick, and what's going to be the choice of Wind and Rain as they are heading into their last pick for this one. I just want to see Toxic with Hunt. Has to be Hunt. You gotta hunt Junkrat here. Well, then again, if Junkrat actually catapults himself back, maybe not Junkrat, maybe we want to go for someone else. Ooh, Cassia is going to be the last pick. Alright, Cassia, as we're heading into Towers of Doom, ladies and gentlemen. Game 3 coming up between Team Russia and Wind and Rain. Game number 3 in the best of 5 series. On the left side, ladies and gentlemen, Johanna, played by Stork for Team Russia this time. Banabir has now switched over to Phoenix, as we are seeing Farlander on Falstad. Toxic on Illidan, and Kolya Martian on Rega. And to the right side of the map, a little bit of a change here, as Backhold is playing Junkrat now, not on the tank anymore, with Make having to leave and Wit being the sub-player for them. We see now Wit on the main tank, playing Malganis here. Max Passion on Samuro. We have Galneguna on Deckard Cain, and Skok on Cassia. The combos are definitely starting to become a little bit more experimental on those sides. We have 29 heroes now globally banned. So once that we're heading into the draft for game number 4, 29 heroes will be banned before we even start the draft. As you can imagine, once we're going into game number 5, it's going to become even worse. So yeah, Banabir already about to be obliterated just as he warps away. It was a good one. Still having Illidan up against Max Passion up at the top. That's going to be an interesting battle here for sure. Falstad going into the Wingman on level 1. Cassia, by the way, with a Lightning Fury build, so already attempting to stack as quickly as she can. So at this point, it's just a question of who controls the map. It's actually a really interesting setup, because you have Samuro oftentimes picked on this map just simply because he can just destroy those structures and absolutely raise them down just so quickly. And oftentimes you will see someone try and counteract that by simply going for globals, but now we don't really have a lot of them. You have Falstad still there, and you have Illidan with possibly the Hunt, and the two of them will have to decide how exactly they're going to play this. But Dehaka, for example, was completely banned out. In general, that offlane is starting to look a little bit more lonely. There's still offlaners available that can be played, but it's definitely going to be a bit trickier to get those into the game. You have Urel and Blaze still available, but yeah, ooh. Actually up at the top lane they're able to take down Samuro. Interesting. So far it works out. Illidan chasing him down. In the meantime, we're having of course the camps taken at the bottom of the map, which is still the most important lane. I mean, the reason why there's usually such a big focus onto the bot lane is fairly simple. You want to make sure that you're taking down your opponent's bell tower, and then you can send those mercenaries straight into the core the entire time, which creates of course incredible pressure, and your opponent will have to spend resources at the bot lane to defend for that case. But with that said, we're still waiting for the first objective to spawn up already. Again, the attack against Skok this time. Ooh. Yeah, Cassia is definitely eating a ton of damage in this one. 12 stacks on the other side for her already. Doing fairly well with that. We're still seeing in the middle and at the top lane 2 heroes for Wind and Rain doing their thing and getting the experience too. There comes the setup again with Mal'Ganis as he's trying to make the play. Farlander, yeah, gets out. Barely getting out there. The problem is that Cassia at this time is not going to be so lucky. Oh, there's the heal. Is that going to be enough? I don't think so. No. There's the slow, and then the bird is delivering the final blow. That's the second kill here against Wind and Rain. Good setup at this point. Yeah, definitely well done. I mean, right now we're having the shrines spawning, or the altars spawning. That's of course a triple, which means that we're going to have that exchange top left, top right. And an easy pick from Rega down at the bottom of the map as well. So 2 against 1 in favor of Team Russia at this point. Getting that earlier kill here, bot side, it definitely allowed them to hold their momentum. Actually, as I say that, this one hasn't even been channeled through. They actually were able to interrupt it. They can fight for this one. They have a level lead at this point. When the rotation comes in, there's actually a chance that they're going to get all 3. But Mixed Passion has it now. This is not going to be a 40 against 0 moment. Nope, 4 shots are being fired. Falstad in the meantime flies down to get the experience down here. Trying to making sure that he is getting all of that done. He even gets a bit of damage in against Deckard. Needs to be a bit careful here. He's already missing out on his cooldown. And yeah, the cleanse helped. Whew. Crisis averted. It could have been bad. It could have been really, really bad. But Illidan is still fighting against Samuro, and so far it seems like Illidan is doing fairly well here. Max Passion is already incredibly low, and even has to hearth back because he doesn't have the cooldown on the fountain anymore. So that top lane duel between Illidan and Samuro is definitely going in favor of the blind guy. And with the level 7 talents, of course, an easy picking here for Team Russia on their camp too. Wit can't move in for that. Dude, you don't want to do this. Well, he does it anyways, and tries to get out of this one. Camp is now taken. Yeah, they have at least level 7 now, but still, that was a bit of a close call. A bit greedy there. And again, if they can somehow make it work around Junkrat with a mine, then maybe they have like a great setup there to steal it and just retreat. But that didn't quite work out. Level 7, Will off to Chondrios now, so trying to get even more self-sustain by simply moving through there. And also now again seeing the attack against Mal'Ganis right away. I don't think, well, he gets away. Felglass is just a great mobility tool and allows him to jump out of harm's way here. In general, I actually can totally see that a team is going to prepare something like a Jogal draft at some point and just bans out a couple of heroes that work really well against him and then picking on the map there later. It doesn't even have to be the same map necessarily, but those are definitely hero picks that all of a sudden become a little bit more available and viable because the counters are possibly banned out. Yes, double ult on the map. There's the root against Falstad. They're not looking good here. Max Passion is incredibly low, and he's not the only one. Everybody is suffering here. They're trying to get at least 1 kill, but even that is not quite working out. Okay, Iron Skin used. Stalk got cleansed here. No Iron Skin. But Cassia's low. They're still fighting. Polymartian is getting the channel through. In time, there's another ult at the bottom of the map. Oh, the kill against Phoenix and nearly the double. Farlander barely gets out. Wind and Rain is actually fighting their way back into this. A little bit behind in experience. It's not crazy, but also look at how quickly Cassia stacks now. Cassia is actually, yeah, well, talking about Cassia, she's in trouble. She gets healed there. And they actually zone well for her, but we have 34 stacks at this point, and she's getting even more. Cassia is going bananas here. I mean, that's really frontline Cassia at this point. The heals are coming in, but Illidan is on the case. Skork, unbelievable! Cassia gets out, and they kill Illidan. Damn! Wind and Rain is all of a sudden just going full on with force through those team fights and dropping heroes one after another. 2 kills in the last 1-2 minutes in that battle over the bottom altar, and now we're having 32 against 28 points on the core. Still fairly even. It was close as hell. I mean, Cassia was 2 times pretty much in range of being dropped by a single auto attack. That's pretty much what we saw there. And was able to move away. And now we're having also Dark Conversion taken. Okay. No Carrion Swarm. Dark Conversion instead. Let's see if he gets the channel through. There's a few interrupts, but not too many. Ah, that Valkyrie missed. There's a lot of mobility also on the other side, so you need to be careful where you use that. I don't see a talent taken yet for Samuro, but I don't really think we're going to see that Blade Storm. Or are we? Nah. Blade Storm would be really weird here. This is a fantastic... Yeah, thank you. I was actually worried for a moment. This is a fantastic map for Illusion Master and Blade Storm. Let's face it, outside of you setting something up with, like, I don't know, an Entomb or anything like that, you're gonna have a tough time getting value out of this. Yep, down goes Junkrat. As Team Russia is saying, like, you know what, those 2 kills, we didn't really like that too much. We like to get kills too. So, yeah, we're gonna go for it. Double altar topside. I mean, that phase in the game is usually where you just see both of the teams channel one, not even trying to invade and just saying like, alright, let's go for the even trade. And just play that cool. But they also have still the option to push the bot lane a little bit heavier. Again, it's all about the bot lane control. If you can try and take that and get those bell towers, it's a pretty good setup. But now we have both of the altars. Gulna is already starting to channel. You just need to make sure that they're zoning for him right now, and Backhold is doing exactly that. On the left side, Toxic shouldn't really be a problem of him. But the first one now. Oh, and actually it comes just as the bottom is converted, so it's only 3 shots. It's only 3 shots. Great job by Falstad. Well done. 3 shots against potentially 5, but they still need to win this one. And the bird is flying in now. Bird flying in. Still has, of course, the ult there too. They're trying to get the setup down here at the bottom. As they're going in again. Only 2 heroes. 3 actually connected with that salvo. But the space is created. And now, of course, the bot lane control is a massive problem. And those 5 bell towers against 3 is another big issue. You expect that from Samuro to happen, but Falstad was just in a perfect spot there. And yep, 5 shots fired. So they're dropping down to 23 against 29. A nice little buffer that they have there. Ooh, 3-man stun. I can't get anything else out of this one. So bot lane, as long as you can hold on to that bell tower, you have continuous pressure simply through the mercenary camp itself. And the level 13 talent that they already have gives them a bit more value here. And of course, power to push. They're already setting the same play up in the mid lane, by the way. 10 minutes in, Cassie completes the quest. Comes just before she's going to get her cooldown reduction in the Pierce on 13-16. I'm still waiting for Samuro to get a bit more value on the map here. I mean, he should soon really start to gain a bit more momentum and start to take down those structures quite easily. Because right now, it's Team Russia that make most of the plays here. We had a couple of counter kills, but these keep missing. It's a little bit dicey here, honestly, for Wind and Rain. They need to somehow lock someone down. It's tricky. Again, the attempt. This could actually be a good one. Khaldor Martian Ancestrals himself. Feels good to be Rhaegar again. Doesn't really feel good to be Junkrat because he gets murdered as the bird goes in. Drops him. Good damage done here. 13 talents on both sides, but that doesn't really help them. Momentum is lost again, and you can't leave Illidan alone on structures either, because Illidan does what Illidans do. He's just going to absolutely murder that. Bot lane pressure is still there. Trying to get some kills in. Especially Wit needs to be careful now, as the salvo shouldn't really get the kill, but they're getting low. Oh, and 2 shots fired. 2 minions go through. 21 against 29 now. Oh, and that's the kill at the top. The bird again. Farlander just flying in and getting another kill here. You look at the damage output on their side, and it doesn't really look too good, but just look at the control that they have. And that is now perfect timing. Another 6 shots fired right there as the altar is channeled through just as the bell tower is claimed. And that's now a massive lead. They're nearly on double the amount of HP on the core than their opponent. And it's looking really good for them right now. I mean, this is actually solid play. I like that a lot. Illidan didn't even go into the hunt. I mean, with Metamorphosis being used in those fights. But they have so much control here. And there's the... Oh, there's the big boy gust! And they're trying to get the kill. Can they? Backhold. Oh my god, he actually gets away. But Cassia is down. To be honest, Backhold should have died too, because that Cassia ragdoll hit him right into the kneecaps. So that should have been the end of Junkrat. It's not really a realistic simulation, Blizzard, please. Wit still trying to somehow get back into this, but boy are they in trouble now. 6 kills against 2, and it's not really the kill count, it's just like the map. And keep in mind, they're playing Samuro. That's usually the... I mean, it is the hero on the map that is annoying because he takes the structures down. And they are just absolutely going for the last bell tower. And once this one falls, it's just an endless barrage that starts. There's still a boss on the map. The next few altars that are spawning, it's a triple altar. Theoretically, the game could end right here. Theoretically, the game could end right here if they get all 3. Again, the miss, but this time the play, and it's just not enough. Unbelievable. He dodges the Valkyrie, and then he dodges shortly after Lornado as well. Mal'Ganis goes down as he gets murdered, got pushed in farther. And guys, I think this could be it. Even if they only channel 2 and grab the boss, they will be successful here. And they're already moving straight into the middle. Guys, that has to be it. That simply has to be it. Yeah, there's like a full-on barrage happening right now. That's the first 6 shots fired. The barrage is coming in now too. They're channeling on the left side, and that is going to be game. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Russia, well... yeah, now they take it. Team Russia takes the victory on game number 3 on Towers of Doom as we are heading into map number 4 of the best of 5. Wind and Rain against Team Russia, map number 4, and well, we have the lead for Team Russia at this point, but of course also we have a ton of bans coming in. I think it's 29 heroes that are banned right now, pretty sure that's correct, and obviously that doesn't even account for the heroes that are gonna be banned now. So, there's Junkrat. Junkrat is finally out. That's the end of the red. He had a good run here. He was one of the high priority picks in the 3rd game because they knew, well, we're kind of running low on good damage dealers from the back line, so let's get Junkrat. But this time he's actually banned out. There goes Johanna as well. Alright, that limits the hero pool of Backwood a little bit more, as we discussed in game number 2 and game number 3. Doesn't really seem like they're going to focus too much on supports here, but I could definitely see them try and target the offlane a little bit more. We're still having on the offlane potential heroes. Could be Arthur's. Could see Urel, Blaze. 3 big ones. There's Urel ban. There we go. Okay. And what does Team Russia ban? Again, we are looking at now 43 heroes. No, sorry, 33 heroes that are banned any second, with this one coming in. And we already had some Moro and Illidan in the last game. We had Falstad coming back into the meta. We even had Deckard Cain, who fell off pretty heavily, actually. Cassia gets banned too. Okay, okay. Slowly getting there. Keep in mind, Chen is open too. Just saying, just saying. Muradin as the first pick. Okay. And the battle for the tanks is going to become really interesting. We have a lot of tanks actually banned out at this point. I mean, we had already a few of them pre-banned. Diablo, Garrosh, and Anub'arak were all banned before it even started. And then we banned Tyrael, Johanna is now banned too. I think we had a couple of more frontliners even taken out. So it is starting to become a little bit more difficult to build a solid frontline. That brings us to Stitches and Blaze. Yeah, with Urel eliminated, you want to take that Blaze early. There are still options on the offlane, but there are not a lot left. So, yep, Stitches and Blaze. A very, very good setup. That's not really something that you would normally say, but you have to kind of pick it in the 1-2 now. Because if you don't, then it's gone. Game number 4 is definitely bringing us there. So, well, what are we going to have from the Swedes? What is Wind and Rain going to do? Tacita! Is that a Vala play? Yeah, okay. Muradin, Tacita, Vala. Have to get Vala back in action here for this one. Now we could maybe see a support band out here. Maybe even Oriel, to be honest. Just making sure that, I mean, again, there's enough supports around. It was actually surprising that the community didn't ban more supports. But Oriel might be one that you're trying to get rid of here so that Vala, that Vala doesn't supply that endless energy. Yeah, it's Oriel. Oriel gets banned, okay. So they have to deviate away from it a little bit. Pretty sure we'll also see a support pick now. Illidan gets banned. When was the last time you saw an Illidan ban? It's been a while for me. They have to pick their support. I would say you pick Rhaegar now. Pick Rhaegar. And then... I don't know what's left for damage. We haven't really seen Orphea yet. There's Rhaegar. Sylvanas! Alright, alright. Rhaegar and Sylvanas come in. Vala composition on the other side. I mean, what do you pick as a support now for that? I like the Oriel ban a lot, and picking Rhaegar away here was good too. There's still plenty of supports out there. You could even go Usa, to be honest with you. If you feel that, I mean, the Divine Shield helps. So gets picked. There's the offlane Arthas. And Alex Straza is now in play as well. Okay. For Volskaya. Good hero pick. And what do we have on the other side? What do we see on Team Russia side? What's going to be the last pick? Are we going to see a bit of burst damage? Jaina, of course, was globally banned. She is not going to make her way into this. And... yeah, Orphea, nice. Nice. Yeah, one of the few mages that actually is still a bit meta. So we're actually starting to change compositions up quite a bit. We're actually seeing a double support Vala again heading into game number 4. Volskaya, Foundry. Team Russia is in the lead. Could even decide the series right now and advance to the next round of the tournament where they would go up against Washed Out. So let's find out if they can win on map number 4. Game number 4 at Meta Madness. The first best of 5 and Team Russia on the left. With Stalk on Stitches, Toxic on Blaze, Kolya Martian playing Rhaegar, Fallen on Sylvanas, and Banabir on Orphea. Well, on the other side, Wind and Rain, the former Team G's, with a double support Vala composition. Max Passion on Tacita. We're seeing Wit on Arthas, Skog on Vala, Backhult back on the main tank with Muradin, and Galne Gulnar on Alex Straza. So they're shifting the roles around a little bit now too. Vala on the level 1 here, as you would expect with a hot pursuit. I mean, obviously no arrow build, we're not on Battlefield of Eternity here. But I'm looking forward to the Stitches plays. And especially the offlaners are starting to become very, very rare. There's not a lot left. Having that offlane Arthas now, that offlane Blaze, but yeah, if we are getting a 5th game, then you have to deviate quite a bit. So once again, we're starting to jump in straight into that little brawl in the middle, but we don't see a single hero fall yet. Stitches came close, didn't get dropped. In terms of the talents here, it's nothing too fancy just yet. Level 1 talent for Fia, pretty much the standard, the Ancestral Strength. We've actually seen a couple of additional builds, but that was also in the Gold League, and let's just say that the games we had there so far were a bit more memey. Wit goes down as Sylvanas goes straight in. Picked on level 1, by the way, the Might of the Banshee Queen here. And they're able to get the first kill. Now, of course, keep in mind that if you're playing Sylvanas, one of the big advantages is that you can really start disabling structures when you have the objective and empower your own push. And that's going to make it very important for Wind and Rain to defend the first protector, to make sure that they get the first protector, that they don't have to go up against that Crusher play. So yeah, already beacon taken. Russia looks good. Team Russia looks really good here. They are delaying their own turret though. So basically the idea was, well, we're not going to play that game where we take the turret immediately with the opponent. Instead, we're delaying the turret on our own side, and instead we're taking the healing beacon. So it means that they have later access to the second turret during the objective, but they have a very easy healing beacon to be grabbed and didn't have to fight over it. So they just value that more, and they have a 2-for-1 as they're heading into the beginning of the objective from an items perspective. And with that said, we're also having Vala still waiting. Multi-shot build. Yep, there we go. Standard build. Punishment taken. And up to the top, we actually see... Oh, I have to think about that for a moment. Kala's Light. Now, in general, I'm actually a fan of this in a lot of the setups, because I really think it helps your front line a lot when you have the extra armor. But we don't really have a squishy or anything. You have, with Arthas and Muradin, two pretty hit point heavy and tanky tanks. So that isn't too bad. The big advantage of having Kala's Light over the extra life leech, though, is that your opponent is running Stitches. So if you just can get close enough to drop the shield, then you have a good chance of getting the target out of harm's way. If you only go into extra life leech on your level 4, then yes, it empowers Vala a little bit more in the fights, but whenever someone gets hooked, that shield doesn't really do anything for you, or at least it does less than it could, because it's very unlikely that on your way back you're able to weave in auto attacks at the same time. So definitely a really, really nice setup that we're currently seeing with that particular build here. So makes a lot of sense if you consider what the opponent plays here. With this already... Get wrecked, kid. No way. Sylph goes down and they save Arthas. Damn. Alex Straza value right there. Girl is getting thick. Dragon Queen gets popped, and they actually keep Arthas alive after he got hooked in and get a counter kill against Sylvanas. Not bad, son. Not bad at all. I mean, seriously, did anyone really think that Arthas would survive this after the hook came through? I was like, okay, they're shitting on him. And nope, he actually walks out. That's insane. Yeah, now they have to wait for Arthas. Level 7 is on both sides ready, but that's the extra turret that we're seeing now. And all of a sudden, I'm not quite sure anymore who's going to win that first objective. Team Russia looked like a good candidate for it early on, but now Wind and Rain has the big lead with the 85%. And can try and pre-tab and move into that fight again. So yeah, that's also our level 7 at this point for Vala, of course. Heading straight into the arsenal. Also the psionic projection for Tacita. Again, same concept. Once the target is hooked, you want to have that shield there. And they're making the plays. There's the healing beacon. That makes a big difference right now. Of course, they're also starting to get the advantage with 44%, but they get pushed off for now. Very heavy front line. It's all about Vala, obviously. You want to weave that damage in. You have the double support that keeps you alive, and you need to be aggressive with that. Zog is already trying to move in here. Here comes Toxic, missing the target, but they get the kill against Muradin. Back hold is down, Vala is exposed, gets the shield though. Still alive, still fighting, but Arthas is also in trouble. There's too much happening for Galnagunar to react to everything here. And the Protector is on the map. And now, of course, the Pain Train is headed brutally towards the red team. This is where Sylvanas is going to start and get some value. Obviously want to start in the middle, open up the wall, and then transition to the top. But already we're having Farlander going up against Max Passion there. Farlander's a little bit low. Jump, 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 jump. Banabir with the soap bar. This is actually a mount that should be restricted to Janitor Leoric. Yeah, I know. I guess Orphea is a very clean gal as well and loves to clean the map and just like tidy it up a little bit. But it is a mount that I feel belongs into the hands of General Leoric, if anything. So, well, we're having level 10 abilities together with the Protector. And talking Protector, he's actually solely focusing in the mid lane. There is no rotation topside. There is no play for that fountain right now. But Tacita is still the only one to deal with this, and he's just sitting there. At this point, he can only watch, to be honest with you. Yeah, Banabir and Farlander are trying their best to push this in as much as they can, but once that the minions are down, they're of course running into tower range and get targeted. So they have to wait for the next wave. And all that Max Passion is doing on Tacita is just the entire time, just drop those storms. Make sure that you get all of that AoE damage out to clear the waves. Backhul jumps in, gets at least the Stormbolt connected for his quest, but nothing more than that. They can't really take that fight any longer. Wailing Arrow, by the way, on Sylvanas, in case that you haven't seen it yet. Tassadar goes into Archon and Strafe on Vala, so not playing around the stun on the Rain of Vengeance. Tassadar nearly completing his level 1 quest, by the way. He's very, very close to it, and once he has 16 and the Double Storm, he can really start to soften this up. Here comes the ult on Arthas. He's actually getting away. Sylvanas nearly dropped him. The bunker's now on the ground. They're still fighting for that. Backhul is very low, but there's the kill. Nicely done by Vala. Well done, and they get a double. Yep. Down go Orphea. It's going to be a triple, isn't it? Yes, the root connects, and that should be it. Triple kill as Orphea, Sylvanas, and Blaze die. Vala with the first kill right there. Now the map is open. Wind and Rain are saying hello to the scoreboard and putting their name in there. Nicely done for sure. So with that, 24,000 currently on Vala. There's the hook again, but they get the item. Turret is taken. 24,000 from Vala. Not quite on the same numbers that Sylvanas can bring in here. There's also a lot of control that Vala can offer, especially later on when we get the level 16 talent for her. I mean, there's a bit of a question, of course, what we're going to see. You could still see auto-attack focus against especially Stitches and Blaze, but if you're more so worried about the control, Frostshot is just an amazing talent to take. Gives you a lot more chase potential, also helps you to control those fights over a control point so much better. So that's definitely a lot to set in argument for that. 66,000 for Tassadar. He's doing really well. They actually also keep him alive here. Strafe comes in. Pushes out some damage. Oh, but the hook is there. Backhul also low. Oh, they're fighting for this one. And Stalk is also dropping the HP really quickly. Forces the bunker out of Blaze, but they are holding on to that mid fort and fight back. I like this. Wind and Rain, they don't give an inch. They're sitting there the entire time fighting for every single centimeter here. And now the level 13 talents are ready for both of them, and that means that we're having, amongst other things, Gloom. Helps a lot, of course, against a lot of the damage that comes out there. Healing Static for Muradin is a brilliant talent to keep him alive during all of these fights. We're having also, in addition to the pressure that comes from Vala, the Shattered Armor from Arthas that helps with this too. Now there's 16s, that's going to be where the party really starts, I feel. And then obviously 20. But on 16, especially Tassadar's Double Storm is going to be absolutely fantastic. Don't see him with a 16 talent choice just yet. Max Passion is actually waiting this out as the fight is starting up here. Hook is getting dodged, Jet Propulsion as the follow-up is missing therefore. Was a good thought though. If that hook connects, then Vala is insta-stunned after Toxic gets the Jet Propulsion through. Still no 13 for Tassadar. Definitely going for a lot there. And they're starting to drum straight into that point. It's gonna be a bit dicey. I mean, from an item perspective, it's just a healing beacon against the turret. It's only one item on each side. And there it comes. Nullification now being used. And already dropped. Vanabia and his Orphea. They're starting to sneak around again, seeing if they're maybe getting a second healing beacon here too. A lot of coolers that haven't really been burned. If you look at the heroic abilities, they haven't committed to a lot yet. We're still seeing Sylvanas without the Wailing Arrow, but outside of that, everybody else still is holding on to their ult. When Arthas is currently trying to get the points here, we have Blaze at the bot lane, but 16 is very, very far away. And with Blaze bot side, they're actually trying to tease that particular robot a little bit more, and forcing therefore Blaze to react and move straight up to the top again. One more Stormbolt and Muradin is also going to have his baseline completed, which gives him the cooldown reduction and the Pierce. Super important. This, on the other hand, is a problem, and a big one at that, and that's the kill. Nicely done by Orphea. Well done. They get the kill, but Sylvanas dies too. It's a trade, 1-for-1, but the hyper carry is down, and that's a massive problem. Vanabia nearly falling. Here comes again Alexstrasza trying to get the kills in. The damage is there, but it's just not enough. They're trying to go for Toxic. The Dragon Queen with a push, but Toxic gets away, and the hook drops Alexstrasza. Absolutely isolated. Can't get away. Gets body blocked. Just a little bit too thick, that girl. And therefore, no chance to walk away. Mirrodin still with a damage output here. Vala is back on the board, but so is Sylvanas, and she's gonna come back in. 60% against 1. That is starting to get really dicey now for Wind and Rain. Team Russia is in a position where they might be able to get another protector here. Vala is working on the bottom of the map though, trying to go for the turret, realizes that she's needed up there. 3 versus 4, 3 versus 5, are you kidding? Oh, quick match rule number 1, count to 5 when you take a fight. And well, at this point, Wind and Rain, they ignore it. Without a support, without their main damage dealer, they actually engage into the fight there. And the outcome is about as you would expect it. They get wrecked. So now they have to just simply give up the protector. Could have played this a little bit more passive, just waited longer and then make the play for the next big fight. But I guess level 16 is something that worried them just too much. But I would rather have them without a level 16 talent than go into a 3 versus 5 here. Oh, alright. Now, of course, the fishing hooks are coming through. Evasive Fire is also taken. And we have the synergy with the level 1 Earthquest Totem from Vega comes in now. But they're starting to drop all the outer structures. They already dropped the top fort. They dropped the middle fort as well. We're having now Psionic Echo. That's the next one. We're seeing at the same time Manticore and the Stone Form. They have good talents on 16. I mean, again, this is where a lot of the party starts here, and especially the damage output from Vala is going to increase heavily against a hero like Stitches. But with that Protector just now starting to get value as the bot lane is completely dropped, it does not only prep the bot lane for objective number 3, they're already working on the keep. This is not looking pretty. Sylvanas has the damage here. Well, and Vala just doesn't have enough. 42,000, given that she's supported by 2 heroes the entire game. That's not really what they want here. Got a couple of items, and they forced the Protector back for now. Falna jumps out on the wave again. They're actually holding at least the keep for now. But they've lost the wall, so if they lose objective number 3, they are in a world of pain. And experience doesn't look good for them either. It looks very much like level 20 is going to be ready for Russia. And Russia, obviously, they're going to be aggressive. They drop the keep down to 50% HP. This is the fight you have to take. This is the fight you have to take if you are Wind and Rain. They need the kill and they don't get it. It's Vala instead that falls first. And they're trying to make the play for Arthur's next. He gets healed by Alex. But the hook, oh god, stop! Please, show some mercy, dude. The hook comes in just as Arthur is about to walk away, and now they're moving through that keep. They're gonna try and make the play for core here. They're already starting to drop max passion, and without a cooldown ready, he dies. Yep, need to kill the keep first before you can go for the core. But it looks very likely that we're going to have the series end right here. Team Russia with a 3-1 victory against Wind and Rain, unless a miracle defense happens. But Galdegulnar is low, he drops the queen again. They're trying to somehow stay alive here, but it's not happening. Orphea drops Alexstrasza, they're going for Mirrodin, the core is already down to 40%. And this is going to be the end of the road for Wind and Rain as they're getting dropped out of the tournament. Team Russia, they take the 3-1 victory and will advance to face off against Washed Out.